Ice Lab. Ice Lab.
Aram lived at the edge of the town on Walnut Avenue. There were orchards, vineyards, irrigation ditches, and country roads behind his house. The horse proceeded towards the olive avenue. The morning air was fresh and cool. Aram felt wonderful sitting on the horse. Murad started singing loudly, who was considered a natural descendant of a crazy race in his family. It was believed that one member of every Garoglanian family would show traits of craziness, and this trait was seen in Murad. Before Murad, such craziness was seen in Uncle Khosrow. He was a huge man with a large head of black hair and the largest moustache in the San Joaquin Valley. He was very impatient, aggressive, and everything around him always irritated him. He never allowed the person talking to him complete his words. He interrupted in between by saying, "It is no harm, pay no attention to it." Now, if you compare Murad and Uncle, you will notice that both of them spoke loudly. Uncle Khosrow was having a rigid character. Once his son Arak came running to him when he was getting his moustache trimmed at a barber's shop. He told his father out of panic that their house was set on fire. His father didn't allow him to speak further. Rather, he interrupted and roared, "It is no harm, pay no attention to it." Now you can understand how crazy he was. Even the barber got scared. He tried to explain to him that he should immediately move home and do something to extinguish the fire. But he was not allowed to talk anymore. Uncle Khosrow roared at him and repeated the same dialogue. You can imagine now to what extent Uncle was crazy. Murad was considered to be a natural descendant of Uncle Khosrow, though he was not his biological father. Murad's father was Zorair, who was quite a practical and rational man. That was how it happened in their tribe. A father and a son may be having resemblance in their looks and may be having the same blood, but that didn't mean that father and son would have the same temperament and disposition. Thus, Murad was more attached to Uncle Khosrow as they had similar character. Murad's personality matched with Uncle. The distribution of the characters changed suddenly and wandered among the tribes. It was not hereditary. They were still riding the horse in the countryside, the place they belonged to, and Murad was still singing loudly. That was the time when they both were in heaven. At last, Murad asked Aram to get down as he wanted to ride all by himself. Aram also wished to ride the horse alone. It was Murad's view that it depended upon the horse whether it would like Aram to ride it alone or not. Murad was proud that he could manage animals as he had a way with them. He had a way with birds, he had a way with dogs and other animals too. He got onto the horse, kicked it with his heels and instructed it to run. He even decided the name of the horse. He called it by the name Vazir. The horse stood on its hind legs, snorted and ran with a great speed. Murad raced it across the field of dry grass to an irrigation ditch and returned 5 minutes later completely wet. Now it was Aram's turn to ride the horse alone. He leaped on the back of it and feared that he would not be successful in his attempt to make it move. And that was what it happened. Murad shouted at him and asked him to kick on its muscles. He also asked him to hurry up as they would have to take back the horse before anybody woke up. Aram kicked into the muscles of the horse. Once again the horse raised its hind legs, snorted and then began to run. But the author did not know what to do next. That was the first day he was riding a horse. So it was quite natural that he would lack the skills of riding. Instead of running across the field as it did in case of Murad, it moved towards the vineyard of Dikran Halabian where it started leaping over the vines. When the horse leaped over a vine the 7th time, Aram was tossed from the horse. Then the horse went running. Murad came running to look for the horse, but he couldn't see the horse anywhere. He was worried as he couldn't see the horse. Aram fell from the horse and was injured, but Murad didn't bother him. He was only worried about the horse. They both went in 2 different directions and frantically looked for the horse. He rather instructed Aram to be kind with the horse if he found it. He would be soon back to take care of the horse. After half an hour, Murad found the horse. They both again jumped on its back. By this time, the whole world was awake. Now Aram was worried what to do next. But Murad was not worried. He knew where to hide the horse. Suddenly, it appeared to Aram that the horse was stolen by Murad many days back. Aram was a bit skeptical. No member of the Garoglanian family was wealthy enough to afford such a horse. He asked him when the horse was stolen by him, but Murad denied its stealing. He told him that morning he had brought the horse. At that point, Aram realized that Murad took a ride on the horse every morning, and that was the reason why he knew how to ride it. That morning he showed up to ask Aram to ride because he knew that it was Aram's dream to ride a horse. Aram was not convinced and he questioned him about this. Murad again refused to give details. He claimed that he didn't want Aram to lie if he was caught. They hid the horse in the barn at an abandoned vineyard. Then the boys returned home.